know it. Even if you know
Ah,
it. It's like me, baby.
I want you to know.
I want you to know that I'm here for you. All that you do and I am real with.
I'm real with you, baby.
Is it on? What's up? And we doing This Ain't No Rodeo Q&A. Why that shit so far away? Golly. Let me get right into This Ain't No Rodeo Q&A. It's your boy Red Clayboy. Whew. What a day. What a day. But head was running a little late. But we here now. We here to talk about This Ain't No Rodeo, March 2026. And also the survey that I got a lot of feedback on, and I appreciate y'all for giving your feedback on the survey. That's what we're here to talk about and answer some of those questions. And I will move this flyer in a minute when I get the other shit popped on. So yes, y'all filled out the survey for This Ain't No Rodeo. If y'all didn't attend the first This Ain't No Rodeo, which I'm sure that a lot of you didn't buy the surveys, but the first This Ain't No Rodeo was fucking amazing. It was held in Atlanta. It had a consensual slave auction and everything like that. I'm trying to see how I can word this. Basically, because people keep asking me, is it about just solely race play? No, it's not solely about race play, but race play is a factor if it's consensual for the people that are participating. Okay, it's not required, but it's definitely acceptable. Okay, so let's clear that up, get that out the way, and I'll keep touching back to it because that's a lot of the questions in the survey, and I'm gonna get into that too. So what else? Yeah, there was drinks, food, barbecue style, like I was saying. The attire was like Southern debauchery, antebellum, yet Western style jeans, and so leather lace, or just come in whatever you feel like. And all the details, a lot of the details will be on the site because tickets do go on sale for Atlanta, March 28th, 2026. So yeah, let's see what else we got going on. I'm gonna go straight to the motherfucking survey. Fuck it. Let's pop that up. I gotta pop this down right here. You see me over here? Got angles on you host. But we gotta get this. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. This is what I meant to do. Oh, this still up here. There we go. Are you interested in attending This Ain't No Rodeo in March 2026? Now, we got a great response, but I needed to not only talk about just this right here. The overwhelming response of people, yes, they are interested in attending This Ain't No Rodeo. Okay, so I appreciate that. Now, when we get to the cities, Atlanta is number one. So the next city that came in second place was Houston. Then we got like a tie kind of, well, New York came in, but then you got DC and Chicago like tied for fourth. So Atlanta and Houston and New York are the top cities that have requested for This Ain't No Rodeo there. But the other cities that we have listed are Charlotte, Fort Lauderdale, which I do have an event in February in Fort Lauderdale on February 13th through the 16th, called Hearts and Horns. If you look at my page, scroll up a little bit, you'll see it. And if you go to my site, redclayboy.com, you'll see that there. Um, so let's see. We got Charlotte. Is that two different Charlottes? Okay, Charlotte, come on. Charlotte, Chicago, Dallas, Houston, ATL, Detroit, Chicago, DC, Fort Lauderdale, Houston, Northeast New York, New York City. That said no. I'm gonna guess that means New Orleans. So I'm gonna say one for New Orleans. This person said nowhere in particular. Being my first, I would go to Atlanta listed location. Love that. They're not sure. Philadelphia, NYC, DC, San Francisco, wherever you can get the best numbers. I know that's right. I hope that means you'll attend wherever you. So it seems like right now Atlanta will get the best numbers. Um, they got Los Angeles and St. Louis. I've never been to St. Louis, so that could be. But there's only one for St. Louis, so that's a thing. Now this is where we got to discuss some things here because we have a deficit here. Or maybe not. I mean, but yeah, it is. It is a deficit. But we're going to start here. Are you interested in the master or slave role? 75% of people filled out and said they prefer to be a slave, which is not a problem. We have only 7.1% that are wannabe masters. It's a lot of slaves out there. It's a lot of fucking slaves. Now these numbers we need. Now we do have 17.9% switches. Okay, so that's good because we can use them as a master. But more so and more likely, I'm just saying those switches probably lean more towards slave. But with so many slaves, I'm hoping that the switches lean towards a master role. But hey, who knows? Because you can a master can get all these slaves if they choose. Now, hey, there's no limit. It's just what you can handle and what you bid on. What your bid is. But I would love, me personally, to get some masters in the scene. That's not strictly white masters either. And that's another thing y'all keep thinking. Just because it's race play ain't always about the white being the dominant. Somebody commented that on the Good Weirdos post under the me announcing the survey, and it was like people think that race play is only the white person being the master, and no, no, no. If you haven't heard of the Black New World Order aspect of it, there's a flip to it too, where black is superior, black cock, black dick, nigga dick is supreme, superior, elite. And that's if you're dealing with race play with me, that's pretty much the aspect I'm stemming from. But I do like to play the flip side and another aspect. But if you do want to know more about how I get down most of the time, sometimes just check out the psychology of race play too. That's on YouTube / the Good Weirdos. So again, I call out to the masses that you do not have to be white. You don't have to be black. Any race. This is not confined by any, like just the white masters and black slaves. This is not that. There will be white masters. There will be black masters. There will be white slaves. There will be black slaves, Latin slaves, Asian slaves, something in between or whatever you are. This is not an event where there are only white masters and black slaves. It's not. Wasn't like that last time, and it's not going to be like that this time. This is open to all races to be in any role. Okay? So again, right now we have 75% slaves, and this is just for the people that fill the survey. And people DM me, people message me, And I mean, a lot of that shit be motherfuckers wanting to be slaves. They want to be dominated, and it's. I've heard this shit. There's a lack of tops out here. Well, I didn't think that's true, but on the flip side, maybe it is because when I look at the data, shit, it's a lot of motherfucking slaves out here. 7.1% masters. We got a whole lot of slaves, and I don't know what it is, and so I'm giving the clarity. You don't have to be white to be a master. You don't have to be black to be a slave. Huh? Are we hearing me? I hope so. I hope this is clear. So I'm making it clear. Any race is open to any role. Do we welcome the generic stereotypes? Because some people like to play out their fantasy. Some people want to be a white master and a black slave. Some black slave want a white master. Y'all can't be mad at that shit. That ain't you. That ain't you. But I'm requesting if you are a master and switch I'm hoping you really are switches. Hoping you really are. So I'm gonna leave that alone for now. We're gonna keep going up. What is your race? So I said we got 75% slaves, 7.1% masters, and 17.5% switches. Okay. And the next question was, what is your race? The majority, and here we go. The majority are black. Y'all don't want me to wake this up, but I will. Because y'all be thinking it just. I've said, I think, in the psychology of race play that white people are more hesitant to be openly, or I don't even want to say openly. I'll give them a little grace, a little bit, not much, because you motherfuckers don't get much grace here. To be openly, I'm gonna say keep it as openly about inter-race play or participate in it publicly. How about I say that? But I'm not saying that they're not into it privately. Now, when it comes to the high number of blacks, because I'm not shocked at this number, because the black people, there's a lot of layers to this, and I'm not trying to get into that. That's the psychology of race play. I'm gonna have to probably do a psychology of race play 3. It's forever and ongoing. I would love some guests on there with that, because y'all keep hearing me. I need somebody to bounce off, some people to bounce off of, some opposition, a different viewpoint, and some support. So send me any recommendations of people that I should tap. I don't mind hitting them up and asking them to be a part of a podcast, because I have a podcast episode coming out for my first guest in a while. So it's coming out Friday, I think. If I get, no, my birthday's Saturday, so I don't know if I'm gonna get that edited by then. But we got, how much is the percent over here? 60%, 60.7% black that are interested in this Ain't No Rodeo. 28.6% white. Okay. 2 Latins, 1 other. Now, with these, I'm mentioning this because of these numbers here. With the high percentage slaves, 75% slaves, and 60.7% black. So that's just telling me there that most of the blacks want to be the slave. I'm just saying what I'm looking at. It's kind of what it's saying, and more, and I think that the blacks here want to be dominated by white masters. If I'm wrong, y'all comment who filled out this survey. If I'm wrong and you black, I'm trying to see how you can stay anonymous and say if you're afraid to talk about it. But DM me and tell me I'm wrong, so I know. Okay. So, and with that being said, Well, see, and with that number two, there are whites that want to be slaves because just by percentage wise, there are probably three of the whites up there in this top number here about who want to be the slaves are white, and the rest of the majority, I'm assuming, are black. And with that, and then I'm assuming that those majority black slaves want to be dominated by white masters. And with that, we have a deficit because we only have well, 7.1% of masters. Now, I don't know if, and this is my help for me playing the advocate for the black slaves. I don't know if the white masters are like hesitant because of the uh, optics, I guess. And this is, I will say, there is always a not. I was gonna say like anonymous options, but it is because if you're thinking because you're gonna come to the event and be filmed and all this shit, no, that's not a thing. If we get consent, if we're trying to take pictures, videos, there are consent release forms. There you can decline to have it released, or you don't have to be participant in any photography, videography, or anything like that, or any of this. If you're afraid like how this will look, I mean, then that you got to go into some internalized things as well. That's when you need to go into my fetish and kink dynamics, accepting your shadows, your kinks, and your fetishes and things that you're into. And you have an outlet to do this in a safe, consensual environment that's empowering, yet, putting some reins on it. I think this is a good option for you to do some self reflection and check that out. So again, I'm going to go back to this. What is the race of the majority of the people that are looking to attend are black, and they are majority by the numbers slaves. And there's only 7.1% saying they're masters. We need more masters. If that's not clear with what I've been trying to lead to, that's what I'm getting at. We need some more masters. Okay? Now, moving up to the next. Are you interested in race play? 89.3% said yes. 10.7% said they're curious. And no one said no way. So I love to see these numbers. This is amazing. And again, I like the I'm curious. I love people that are curious. They're not saying they're into it. They're not saying they're not, but they're open to. They're not against seeing what the fuss is about. At least So I fucks with that. Let me see what else we got here, because we finna get into the questions. I'm trying to see if I can pull up the chat on this screen and see if anybody wrote in this shit. Cause this shit be showing up late, and I really don't be sometimes knowing how to use all the parts, connections in this motherfucker. Show me the chat. Now, if ain't nobody in that bitch asking no questions, that's another thing. But I want to at least try to have it open in case I see something. I'm finna get to the questions in just a second. I'm trying to see if I can pull up the chat on my screen if anybody's wrote on it. He used to have this option up here. They changed this shit when I was trying to stream on YouTube, motherfuckers. Anyway, I'll figure that out later. If you tacking in the chat, I'm trying to look at my phone too to see if I see anything in there before I get into the questions, because I'm here live. All right. So I'm trying to give y'all the option. Let me turn this down so ain't no feedback. Bitch, I can't go into my own live. Can I look at the chat? Well, I don't see no shit down there, so we gonna move on to the questions that are in the survey. Bet. Is this a sex party? Great question. Oh shit. Did I change over there? I hope you okay. Is this a sex party? I don't want y'all to see all the questions at first. Let me do it like this. Okay, is this a sex party? No, it's not a sex party. This is not a sex party. This is a sex positive space, and I use that kind of lightly because this is a space where, say, certain acts of service are available if the slave and the master or whoever, whatever the dynamic is, or whatever you want label you want to put on it, if they're one of the options is we have like service acts of service is offered as like bidding, and the slaves have consent of what they can want to choose to do. So say if the master wants, like after he bids on a slave and say he wants, they want, she wants, because the master is not bound by gender either nor race. I want to continue to say that. Okay. And they want to give like anything from head, ass, eight. If the slave and it's consensual and they both want to do that, sure, go ahead. But there's going to be a space for that. This is not a sex party because again, there are other things going on. Music is happening. There's like food and shit in the area. There's the auction. There's other like event things and like I don't want to say stations, but kind of like stations available going on. Like in places where you to just chill, talk, mingle. This is not a walk-in sex. This is not a sex party. No, it's not. No, nope. Will someone maybe is it possible for someone to get fucked or fuck? Yes. In designated areas, not like just dark, but it would lead up to. It's not you're not walking in, getting fucked, sucked, all of that shit. It's not happening. This is like a thing. It's not a sex party. Good question though. Let's go on. Okay. This was a great question, which I say that because I didn't think that was something that needed to be asked. And they probably asked this question because they think it is a sex party, which, again, is not a sex party. It is a sex positive space. And I'm not just trying to be words or fun and talk word salad. This is not a sex party, but if it, later as the evening goes and certain and connections happen, this not restricted from it becoming not the whole party, not everybody in there fucking either. Okay? But I'm not saying it's, I'm not, yeah, that's not gonna happen. If by some chance that happens, that means it's above me. That's some shit that I didn't plan, and everybody was on the same frequency, same vibe, for that to happen. That's what we saying there. All right, next we have I am paused undetected. Am I still allowed to attend? Yes, you are. For no reason, for no. I hate that you had to ask this question, and to me, when I read it, I was like, "Who? Why? I hate. Why do you even feel you need to ask me that? Because if you thought it was a sex party, which I confirmed that it's not, but even then, I get it. But yes, you're allowed to attend. It's never gonna be where anyone, because of their not status, is gonna be restricted or from coming to any event, any gathering, anything that is put on by me, Red Clay Boy, or I'm participating in, that I'm co-collaborating, co-creating, or the good weirdos. There will be no discrimination or shit against people who are pause and shit like that. Now I ain't saying don't you come in here with untested and you've been raw dogging and fucking cum guzzling and you just out here willy-nilly think you finna spread shit. Now that It's a whole nother story. But again, this is not a sex party. But again, even still, you come into somewhere that where some sexual acts, body contact like that could be possible, you need to, okay, get some doxy pep and prep. But you don't ever have to worry about not being able to attend any of my events if you are pause. And I don't know, you're undetectable. I don't know. A positive. I don't know if pause is a good word. It's just like it seems like that's a very porn talk. Let's go to the next question. Like to find a group to explore with. That is amazing. I love this. And this is not just a one off. I'm trying to build community and not in a just a fucked up way. I'm just not just in a race play way either. For people, this ain't a rodeo is for, I mean, I get it. Race play is accepted here. I mean, but it has to be consensual. But yeah, with all what I do with the Good Weirdos is attempting to build community. Bitch, like from since I started the Discord, I've started. I do these retreats, these events like monthly, bi-weekly events, like so, what I was doing at my house, and I'm bringing those back. Probably not at my house, but you know, um, yeah, it's all about exploring in a consensual safe space. So I love this question. Well, I said I'm gonna read all of them. And I'm gonna read this question here, and I'm gonna just say what it all say. Here we go. Okay. I would love a prolonged private race play event for white masters and nigger slaves to be able to let loose and get their freak on. I've noticed that privacy and planning are key with these kind of things. Everyone should have to put any phones, cameras, smartwatches, etc. in sort of a coat check area. Masters and slaves can write out their limits on a tag or wristband so we can easily check for any ones we're interested in. An auction would be great. These things fall through so easily, so hopefully this will work out. Also considered transportation, privacy, security, and costs when booking the venue. Airbnb can be tricky because they often are far out, have neighbors within earshot, shared walls for townhouses and condos, and hidden interior security cameras. Check it out if there are any community dungeons that you can rent out for large group events. And I have no problem with anything that was said in this because there are people that want exactly this. And when I mentioned the privacy and the planning and all these things, and you know, this is all very true. And I'm gonna tell you one of the main hurdles with this. And we do events, we do retreats, and all across and the country and internationally, and we go through Airbnb, and we find places that are like remote. And so now we're not tied to using Airbnb, but we can use other venues, locations, and places. Because the last This Ain't No Rodeo was in them at my huge ass backyard, and the house was connected into so it all worked. But the big thing with this is support. This shit ain't cheap. So sponsors, donations, contributors who I agree with all of that. We can make it happen. Can you see my fingers in the camera? This is where here what we need. It's not from the lack of ideas and ability and people with great ideas like this. I agree because we can have a more race play centered event as well, but that's private. If that's what I see there's a dire need for just specifically that, where it gets, you know, get they freak on like this motherfucker said. That's possible, but again, and you see my work. I'm going to talk shit. I do work. I'm not. This is high quality shit over here that I'm putting out, from the films with my erotica porn to the quality that I present, events, retreats, from the podcast to the topics to the book club. I'm not a scammer. It's never been. I was not. That's not my ministry. But you're gonna. You're. It's not. I have findom and do still because I'm a king nigger for the some. Okay. I know the quality and power of this black nigga skin. So you gonna contribute because I'm helping make a space for you. And if this is for the whites, I'm telling for you, your white ass, to live through your fetishes and kinks and you niggas. So I had to pop some shit for a second, just a minute, because I ain't when I put up like support, donate, I put this shit solely back into what I'm creating, literally, and the proof is now everywhere, all on social media, all on from Discord, from YouTube to Twitter to X to in real life. But we need your support, your money, your time, your efforts as well. Because we will create the thing, build it, and you will come. We build it. So I love all this idea. You can DM me and you can go to redclayboard.com. There's a special place on there for donation that goes straight through the systems. Legitimacy. Now, when we did the first This Ain't a Rodeo, it is because I feel like this goes back to me talking about the ratio of masters to slaves. And the main concern is being privacy. And people get scared. You know, the first sex party I went to, I stood in my car for like an hour and a half. I said I'm gonna wait till 3 people go in. I don't know why I got there early. This was in a brownstone in Brooklyn when I was living in New York, and I drove up and I just so happened to get a parking spot right in front, literally right in front of this motherfucker. Maybe the door's here, maybe the car behind it was my car, and I'm sitting there watching. I'm like, I'm gonna wait till the 3 people go in. 3 people went in. I'm still sitting there. Okay, I'm gonna wait till 5 people go in. Okay, a car got to pass. I was just a bunch of bullshit. And then again, you just gotta try it. Just do it. Show up. At least you can say you tried and experienced something. Okay? And it's not just this is not just the one-off thing. This is, again, some people are not looking for community, but for those that are, this is available. Again, and I'm trying to bring it to other cities. There was somebody in France commented and saying they wish they could come. I'm trying to bring it to France. Because there's a lot of Parisians that into this shit. Australia. Oh. You motherfuckers. Them Aussies. They love some race play. It makes sense. They some colonizers too. Next question. Will everyone have to participate or can you just watch? I want to say yes. You can just watch. I would love that to be a thing, but I'm gonna be honest. We had just the right amount of people who attended the first This Ain't No Rodeo for auction to kind of happen. Again, we had more slaves than masters. Okay? Now, if we have a good dynamic to complete the auction and event, and there are options, if there are other things that are happening besides the auctions for this to be, like I said, this is not just sold around the auctions, and this is not a sex party. There are other things going on. But I'm just going to say a quick answer, yes. You can just attend and watch and not have to participate in the auction. You do not have to participate in the auction. Next question. Where we at? And again, all your donations are accepted. Please visit redclayboard.com. DM me. Because you see the fruit of the labor of your coin. Okay? Let's go to the next question. Ooh, here we go. Y'all weren't holding back in this shit. And some of it's cut off. but I'm gonna read it to you. Say, I am a coon and I get sexually turned all the way up with race play, worshiping and serving superior white alphas, and being a nigga for big white cock. Love. And I love that you said that, and you love that you find with that. And this is a place for you to do that because you need to get some superior white alphas to come. I'm just being real with you. If that's what you're looking for, and you see we got a superior who somebody else in this results, and I'm using because this is what they're identifying as. Okay, don't get in my messages and DMs about what I'm saying. This is what people are saying. People want the same thing, and I'm trying to connect y'all. So this is good. A 10. And we need to get the whites who are into, like this guy who wrote the paragraph here, to attend. And I promise you, privacy will not be of an issue. I got you. Like, I don't even know who said this stuff. I didn't ask. Only when we're buying tickets and for the event, when I'm sending, like, hey, this is confirmations, this is like, then we get into the privacy deeper. But I'm going to need to, you're going to be buying tickets. You're going to have to, come on, let's lose our brains here. And next question. Let's see. For those who are interested but still curious about race play, I wonder if there will be a discussion about being in that particular headspace. For those who are interested but still curious about race play, I wonder if there will be a discussion about being in that participate. Are you asking, is there like going to be a discussion at the event? Because no. And the reason why I try to have these, I do the psychology of race play. I try to get on, have these conversations. You just need people to attend, you know? So I love that question because I'm trying to think like, but I this won't, like, a discussion won't be happening at the event, but I do have these discussions. And if I get like people telling me, hey, I would love to have these discussions, I would like to watch, and I would do it. I create these psychology of race play and transmaxing and all this shit because it's on me and on me, like, to do it. And I hear people ask me a lot of questions in my DM and over the years, so I'm like, let me just put this information out here. I'm not here to debate with anywhere. I'm always here to listen to opposition to a certain degree. But yes, I have these discussions, but also I do a lot of one-on-one sessions with Fetish and Kink Dynamics where I do discuss these kind of things privately, one-on-one, or in small groups that I'm available for. Again, check me out, hit my DM, or go to redclayboy.com/Fetish and Kink Dynamics. But it's under Kink Dynamics in the menu tab on redclayboy.com. Or DM me. We can make it work. Somebody put black and Latin mix. Okay. I think that was the other. I love this idea and we're planning to attend. Thank you. I would love to have you. Is it friendly for other races than white and black? Yes, this is open to all races. All races are welcome. And the last comment is, please do this. Please do this. So we did it. That is all the questions that I got on the site. Let me see if I can go over here and see if I see any comments on the live, because it's not showing me on this fucking screen here. I gotta go on my phone and see if I can see any. If it'll even show me. If somebody even asking a motherfucking question. Uh-huh. And I'm not worry about all these tabs I got open. Don't you worry about. You just focus on what the fuck I'm saying here about this ain't no rodeo. So, again, Great response out. Great, great, great response. And I'm glad you all, again, the tickets for Atlanta, March 28th, 2026, will go on sale Friday. So if you have any other questions, you can visit redclayboy.com. And I don't want to say DM me because y'all be DMing me on some questions. Watch this video. And I may come back on. I don't know. But watch this video. I think I covered everything completely and fully. And I appreciate everybody who does support. I appreciate everybody who took the time to fill out this survey. I appreciate everybody who gives their support in something that I know is taboo. So, again, my birthday is motherfucking Saturday. So, any support, love, please definitely do that. Drop that in my DMs, Cash Up. I might drop my Cash Up on that motherfucker too. But yes, hit me up. I appreciate y'all. Any other questions? Watch this video, and any other, maybe a lot more information on the site. So with that, we finna be out, and I'll holler at you. Deuces.